I want to talk briefly about what's involved with accessing closely related keys. Have you ever played several songs in a sequence? I'm quite sure you have, but if you haven't, that time is coming. Maybe you're leading a set of worship songs, or performing a concert, or you're thinking about a recording order for an album. There are several factors to consider when we put songs into sets, one of which is the keys the songs are in. In my early years of worship leading from the guitar, I would put together a set of songs that were all in the same key, just to be on the safe side. But we shouldn't ever be at the mercy of the key of a song. We should be able to choose the songs based on tempo, groove, and of course, theme. Let's begin with the commonly used guitar key of D major. I've provided what I like to call my super SPI decoder for the 7 diatonic chords in this key. They are D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished, and we can come back to D major. If you've played a song in D major, you've likely used most of those chords. Perhaps not the C sharp diminished chord as much because it has such an unstable, dissonant quality to it. You'll see that in my decoder I've created an orange box with an X through that chord. But the other 6 chords, including the major 1 chord, are all important parts of the key of D major. Now, if you're familiar with the circle of fifths, you know what a powerful tool it is. If you're not, I'm going to provide a couple little slices of it to illustrate how to access closely related keys. In Guitar Success for You, we take several lessons to discover the circle of fifths, and we do it in layers, thereby allowing us to build the circle until we have the complete picture. We start with sharp keys, then we add flat keys. I place the key signatures along the outside of the circle, and then I list the major keys next to them. On the inside of the circle, I place the relative minor keys, which share the same key signatures as their corresponding relative major keys. As you look at this little 6-chord slice of the circle, you'll find 5 keys that are closely related to D major. What do you notice? All the chords in D are here, except for the C sharp diminished chord. These chords are the starting chords of the closely related keys. Moving counterclockwise from D to G, or clockwise from D to A, we are advancing by fifth along the circle of fifths. The relative minor keys for each of these 3 major keys are inside the circle. B minor is the relative minor key of D major. E minor is the relative minor key of G major. And F sharp minor is the relative minor key of A major. So, if I'm leading a song in D major, and I want to think about other keys I could play in after that song, I now have 5 immediate options. Why are these keys closely related? Because they're pleasing to the ear when we move to them. Why are they pleasing to the ear? Because they each start on a chord that is already in the key of D. Those closely related keys, again, in no specific order, are G, A, E minor, B minor, and F sharp minor. So that's a major key example. Let's say we're starting from the key of E minor. Real quick, I'll play the 7 diatonic chords in E natural minor from my super SPI decoder. They are E minor, F sharp diminished, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, and I can come back to E minor. At this point, you may know what I'm going to say even before I say it. The diminished 2 chord, the F sharp diminished chord, is not going to be as accessible, so it won't remain in the picture. Thus my orange box with an X through the chord. Look at my little slice of the circle with E minor as the key we're starting from. Again, we have 5 other keys that are within easy reach of E minor, and they all start on a chord that's diatonic to E minor. These 5 closely related keys, again, in no specific order, are G, C, D, A minor, and B minor. And that's a minor key example. So as long as we're in close proximity to a key, we have access to any of 5 keys that share either the same key signature or a key signature that's just 1 sharp away. Just to illustrate what happens when we don't move to a closely related key, but instead try to jump to a key on the other side of the circle of fifths, I'll start from D major, a key with 2 sharps, and now, without warning, I'll attempt to play an A flat major, a key with 4 flats. Even a non-musician who hears a guitarist jump to a new key like that will have a sense that something isn't quite right. Whether you need to jump across the circle or not, you can see and hear that this is much less of a smooth transition. We of course have the freedom to pause and insert a spoken thought or a prayer to avoid an awkward key jump like this, but not typically on a recorded album. We can also make our way musically to keys that are further away, but this often involves the process of modulation, which is something we also get into in the more advanced stages of Guitar Success for You with multiple modulation examples and strategies. And of course, there's also transposition, which we cover in detail during the lessons and some of the guest expert interviews as well. For now though, remember that if you leverage closely related keys, you'll play song transitions that are much more pleasing to the ear. In terms of an example of a song order using closely related keys from today, we could start with a song in D, followed by a song in G, then a song in E minor, another song in D, and we could end on a song in A. And again, if we have 2 songs back to back that are in the same key, no worries. As we wrap up, I want to mention the fact that closely related keys are accessible around the entire circle of fifths, as you might imagine. Any of the 24 keys will have 5 closely related keys that can be easily found and accessed using this method. So put this strategy to use. And if you want to know how to really unlock the circle of fifths and empower yourself as a musician on a whole new level, consider joining Guitar Success for You, my online monthly membership. Guitar Success for You is an experience like no other, and it's informative, fun, efficient, and highly affordable. It could transform the way you enjoy the guitar, whether you're just getting started, playing it recreationally, or starting to get serious about using your musical gifts. You can learn more and join now at guitarsuccessforyou.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.